Audio Lot is starting.
Hello, folks.
Wait, it's starting.
We're starting, maybe.
You're live.
Congratulations, Deborah. Thank you very much. Welcome to the Select Board meeting of the 24th of May. Always a pleasure. Our town clerk is out for today, so we'll look at his report. And the major thing on his report is that we received another check for $8,985 for our solar panel people over at the Salt Shed, Soltage. So they're all paid up for the year, and they'll be starting, well, they started the project, but they'll be continuing with it shortly. Nothing else is really, taxes, people are still paying a little bit. Electronic disposal, we're still keeping that in mind. Hopefully we'll have a program set up in the next few months to be able to do that on a regular basis. Just a quick note, the town office will be closed next Monday for Memorial Day. We're reviewed from last week. Busy week last week. Again, paid our bills. Viewing ads. This week's shopping guide and next week's shopping guide will have the town's invitation to all bidders for solid waste and recycling collection. This is a 3-year contract that obviously will go out for bids every 3 years. We're trying to encourage more people to bid on the contract, just to get a little competition. We've made it easier for a company. They could pick up our trash on 2 consecutive days. In other words, a Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, that type of thing. That way they might be able to use just one compactor rather than 2, less people, and be more amenable to people getting into the business, since they'd have trucks busy for 2 days and not need as many people for their business. Debbie is mailing, or has mailed, this invitation to a number of companies that we think would qualify and have the ability to handle our contract. Selectman Stacy has contacted a number of the local folks to see if any of them would be interested in accepting this challenge. So we're doing all we can to get competition. Nothing new in the CEO report. We have the York County's estimated deputy contract cost for next year. This would be from $722 to $623. The contract cost is $116,000, up like $6,000 from this year. However, this does not include any new vehicle if it's deemed that the deputy needs a new vehicle. So This is the straight contract deputy with his existing vehicle. Planning Board, Appeals Board, nothing really going on there. There's a public hearing on the Appeals Board scheduled for June 23rd. This is on the Monroe-Nelligan situation. This has been going on for, I guess, a couple of years now. Hopefully this can get resolved and everyone can go back to being friends again. Comprehensive Committee. Harvey's next meeting is May 31st?
Yep, next Tuesday night.
Okay. Secaucus Road, we did have a note from Mr. Fry's, 191 Secaucus Road, concerned about the road and the grading of the road and the use of the road. We'll certainly look into his comments. It should be remembered that Secaucus Road is a private road, and the town does not perform any maintenance on private roads. The exception, of course, is because we have some property on this road that we need to utilize, so the town feels a responsibility to do some work to keep the road in.
If our usage is detrimental to the road.
Okay.
And I believe we've graded it twice now.
Okay.
And to my recollection, it had only been graded maybe twice in the previous 5 years. So I feel like we're not, we're doing our share.
Okay.
Well, the only thing in question is the timing of whatever we do to the road has to be.
Well, the whole reason for us grading it, I opened a can of worms when we did this the first time, but the reason for grading it was maybe I more or less thought it would be on the plowing contractor to grade it as he needed himself, because he didn't want to drive in and out of there with his trucks bangity bang. Or if we were detrimental to the road, if we stove it up during mud season or whatnot, which this year we did not. It was just normal water out of the puddles, gets pounded out by people going in and out. We're not doing it as the road needs it per se, because it's not a town road. We're doing it for the convenience of the plow contractor. So when he's going out with in and out with his equipment all winter long, it's not bang to bang, The road, that section of road is getting plowed for free. They aren't paying to get that section of road plowed. So that's a bonus. I don't know if they've realized that or not.
Well, that's fine. My opinion is that I have to listen to that bangity bang going down the road all the time. And if the big trucks go down there, it's even worse. Or somebody down there has a trailer and that goes bangity bang all the way down. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you on that one. I just think that with a solar company not having a timetable for them to come in and do their job would probably be detrimental to that road that they would fix. So I guess at this point, we'll have to leave it up in the air, because if we get a real bad rainstorm, it's going to get worse.
I understand that, but it's gotten worse for years. I don't know why it would all of a sudden fall on the town's shoulders to fix
Well,
it.
no,
Well, I think that we can say that if the town creates a problem, we'll take care of it.
Right, and that was,
And if the solar company creates a problem building their solar array,
Right.
we will ensure that they take care of it.
yes.
And other than that, it will be incumbent upon the homeowners on that part of Secaucus Road to monitor their road and take care of it themselves. That's what they were doing for years before we put the salt shed into effect.
Right.
But we will look at the memo. We appreciate the memo. It gets a discussion going, which is half the battle.
well, we'll see how it goes, that's all. Yeah.
Nothing on Robinson Mill. We're kind of, we haven't heard from the lessees or the lessors of the mill in a couple of weeks now. I know they're out of state, or they were out of state.
Yeah.
So when they get back, I know our attorney wants to talk to their attorney, and we did write them a letter saying we would expect them to start paying a storage fee as of the 1st of next month. So, and we haven't heard a response from that either, so.
Has anybody heard anything from them?
Nothing.
Nothing.
So if you're listening, give them a call.
If you're one of the 12 listening, Mark, Scott, Stanley Building, another ongoing saga.
I want to get down there and check out that bottom tank, too.
To make sure that it's
Yeah.
in effect
I'll
dry.
just go down there. I was hoping Scott would be back by now.
We just have another note, letter from our attorney, opposition to motion for preliminary inquiry or injunction. 3-page note disputing some of the things that Mr. Collins' attorney mentioned in their note. Saco River Commission, water quality monitoring. Pretty extensive report sent by Ms. Hauser. I'm just looking at the test samples, ported covered bridge, downriver of Keezafall Village off Powder House Road. And they did Long Pond at the public beach. And they made some overall comments on Parsonsfield's water quality. Just quick summary, water quality for the 3 sites tested in 2021 is good. They gave some specifics of where some work could be done, ways to improve water quality, good vegetation near the running water, prevent erosion, no salt in the area of the water. Have septic systems checked regularly. Swim area, consider whether seasonal toilets are feasible. We have done that at least for the last few years that I know of. And I know the people at Long Pond had a very extensive survey of their septic systems and worked to improve the ones that were deficient. We're not putting any salt really. I'm just looking along the only salt that'd be close to the river would be on the Porter side of 25. And then we're pretty far away, so hopefully we're not contributing to that. The request of ARPA funds from Jen Lewis. Jen came in and talked to us briefly today. she heard the word from last week's meeting about, we're still evaluating requests, and we'll consider anything that we can get approved as long as it, benefits the entire town. She was like to improve the kitchen and the restrooms, some of which has been done already, and some of this would be included in the money for the funds. So there will be a special town meeting in like 3 weeks, I believe. You'll see the notice in the shopping guide for the next 2 weeks. It asks for, I believe there's 6 different areas where we'd like to spend some money, and it asks for your approval to do so. York County sent us their budgets. This will all go to Harvey and the Budget Committee. Like a 0.5% or a % increase, nothing dramatic. This is the amount of taxes that we pay to York County for the support we get from them. We talked a little bit about the letter from Don Fries concerning Secaucus Road. We have a note from Mr. Moody. We did send him 6 pages of information last week. I guess it comes down to he's concerned about the speed of the trucks. The speed limit there is, if I'm 45, is that correct?
No, it must be 35, I'm going to guess.
Might be slower.
I don't know. I don't quote me. I'm going to guess
so,
it's 35.
And he says the town allows 1,000 trucks a week on Cram Road.
Which is incorrect.
That's true.
There's 50 trucks a day per day for 6 days a week. That would be 300 times 2 gravel pits. That would be 600, which is still an astronomical number, but it's about 50, a little more than, it's 60% of 1,000. It's certainly not 1,000.
So that's a little bit of an exaggeration there. And that's the maximum number.
Correct.
Could be half of that. Could be 300, 400.
I would be interested to know in full swing how many are actually, going.
Well, our
by.
CEO will be getting records on that, so we can evaluate that. A good point that Mr. Moody made was that it appears that the speed limit is being exceeded, whatever it's 35 or 45. And apparently there was some logging trucks involved too. So we're going to be talking to our deputy and see what kind of a plan the Sheriff's Department can come up with to try and spay. That's pretty good. That's pay and stay. Pay special attention to the Cram Road area just to try and cut down on the speeders. We were thinking of putting our little speed sign that we have that you people see out by Walker Chevrolet, or the old Walker Chevrolet, putting that down there in Cram Road just to reinforce it. Harvey was concerned a little bit about the stability of his sign and whether it would be there or not, or what would happen to it. So we'll have to talk about that, but maybe that's a way to highlight it from our standpoint.
I could take it down there for a day and bring it back. I'd hate to leave it down there.
Let's see what...
That would be the end of it.
Let's see what the deputy, what our Sheriff's Department can do and whether they think it's a good idea. I mean, they've experienced
We
in
left
this.
it at a residence, maybe Mr. Moody would allow it to be stationed there at the top of the hill. I mean,
Yeah.
if it was at a residence for a week, at somebody's house, it would be less. You can't leave it where there's no houses. That's 100%
Yeah,
correct.
so if we had a resident that would be willing to put it on his property for maybe a week to start with, and
Right.
would be willing to do that in conjunction with the sheriff's department. Maybe we can put a little, and in conjunction with having our CEO who just drifted into the room. Talk to the owners of the pit about the speed limits their guys are going at.
The dump trucks are speeding?
It sounds like it was a chip truck that was speeding, not a dump truck, but
Okay.
not saying the dump trucks aren't speeding, but
Well, they did just log down there.
the complaint was that there was a chip truck.
Yep.
So that isn't necessarily to do with the pit, but,
Right.
or maybe it is. Maybe they were logging at the pit, I don't
They
know.
were logging it.
They were, well,
Yep. That was the Donalds. They were logging.
Okay, our road commissioner will be in next week for a workshop, I believe at 5 o'clock? 4 o'clock, sorry, 4 o'clock. We have a few bridges to evaluate the state's evaluation of our bridges. And maybe something we have to put a little extra money into when it comes time for the budget, depending on what's wrong and what needs to be done. As usual, we have our calendar there. Bulky waste, June 6th, getting pretty close. White goods, June 13th. Put these on your calendar, sort of circle them. If you want to get rid of something, now's the time to do it. And we have the special town meeting on June 21st to discuss really the ARPA spending, or the money the federal government's giving us, American Relief Plan. And that's about it from our extensive agenda. Harvey, you got anything you want to?
Well, I don't think we mentioned anything about, we met with the DOT
Good point.
last Friday.
Go.
About the sidewalks in Keyser Falls in front of the insurance company and I would say the Chinese restaurant and the bakery. And I don't know, I guess we're going to try to get some costs for engineering that part of it, because without that, it doesn't seem like we're going to get anywhere with the state for getting any funds for that. So I came away a little bit disgruntled because we've already waited 4 or 5 years, and now we've got to wait another 3 years. And it just doesn't seem like there ought to be something that we can do to that. So we'll get an engineer quote, and we'll go from there and see if we can get some funds for it. So that's it.
I don't know if that could be part of the ARPA program or not. I don't know.
I wouldn't say the infrastructure for the roads would be under that situation. I think.
Could our bridge repair be? If we have to repair bridges?
I don't know that for a
I don't know
fact,
either.
but I would rather spend the money here, under the auspice of making this town hall functional and whatnot, and broadband
could
and
do
things
both.
like that. Well, if there's money left over, sure, but we may use it. Well, we'd have to check on that.
Yeah.
Road maintenance, I'm not sure, unless
I don't think it qualifies, but we'll
Yeah.
have to look.
So.
Jess, got anything?
nope.
Okay. As usual, we have our frequent visitor. Jeff, you have...
Speaking of sidewalks in Keys Falls, it might be good to have a workshop with all the storefront owners.
That will be done.
We did that the other day.
See what they want.
Yeah, there'll be some public meetings, hearings.
Yeah, because the parking has to change. Maybe you have to go to angle parking and that type of stuff.
Well, that's why we need the engineering report to figure out what is actually curbs sided, what's open, what the grade is, what the drainage is. And again, with the owners, what they have in mind for it too. So we've got to consider all that. But I think we got to start with an engineering, approach to it and see what they have in mind for it. Because we can't do anything to the road anyways.
We're looking, Harvey, is it true we're looking at from Mill Street, Town Road, to the edge of the Stanley Building?
No, we're going up farther. We're going up past the
Insurance company.
insurance company.
Okay.
Where the sidewalk starts to deteriorate
Okay.
and going down all the way around to the Stanley Building.
Okay.
And to determine where that sidewalk is, because the Stanley Building has a step up and the sidewalk is against the building.
But that might be part of the building, which we need
Well,
to
that's-
find that out.
Yeah,
I think they used to have a canopy over there.
yeah, well, whatever. So
There
that
used to
has
be a canopy over?
Yeah. It was 3 floors and they had a canopy.
Looks like it's part of the building.
Yeah.
And the road was a lot
Probably
different.
they probably had a pickle barrel, play checkers.
So that's why we need the engineering. And the big
Okay.
thing is the drainage, because it does have a slope going down there, and there's one area drain up above, but there's nothing in between in front of the stores. So it's got to be graded, or another drain put in before it goes down to the mill area. So I think it all hinges on that. If we start there, at least we can force the state's hand in trying to get something done. I mean, I don't know, they were talking, what, 30, 70 for us or something like that? Was it?
It's different, depends on which program we use.
Yeah, so, and that was unclear to me, what program. That sounded like they had a few of those.
5 years ago was 30/70.
Yeah, so I would imagine that wouldn't change, but I think if we start there, I think we have a chance of trying to get something done, but when?
Is there any chance of doing a temporary
Well, that
fix, like grade it a little bit and put some hot top on it?
was discussed too, but
They
it's,
didn't think that was feasible, but that's one question that Meyer asked,
yeah,
that if you could do a fix, and there really wasn't,
So you live with a disaster for 3 or 4 more years, or a very bad situation, in lieu of just putting a
there's a lot involved with it.
little hot
there
top
is,
down.
there is a
Yeah.
lot, yeah.
Yep.
So
Okay.
we
Thanks,
tried.
sir.
We'll
Hey,
keep on
you
trying.
do what you can.
I think that's almost covers it. I guess that's just had a good idea, putting the speed limit sign in front of Mr. Moody's house, because, he'll keep an eye on it.
He has a good eye on it.
Yeah.
Okay, folks, we appreciate y'all listening for a half an hour. Hope y'all learned something. Hopefully, I just let you know that we're doing, just made a few more phone calls. We should be getting our quotes in for the audio-visual equipment to go in the town hall, in the gym, the planning board room, and this room. Should be getting those quotes in within a week. Now, that's one of the things we'd like approved in the special town meeting, so
Before you bang that,
before I bang it, yes,
I would like to express thanks for Danielle for setting up the hardware so that everybody could hear this, and hopefully Leslie's in good shape.
we're certainly, because we're computer challenged,
We're computers. That's correct.
as opposed to height or weight or whatever. We're certainly computer challenged. Okay, folks, thank you very much.
Okay.
Do you know who cleaned up in front of my house? I don't know if it was the state or fire or, I don't know.
Was it a good cleanup?
Yeah.
All right.
I didn't want to clean it up, I'm on that corner where they push all the...
Well, you wanted the state to come and do the dirt
Did
and
you do it,
everything.
Jess? Yeah, somebody. Oh, sorry. Come on.
Still on.